Alright guys, welcome back, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how to create a custom launcher icon for your app. Now by default we're just giving this Andy, the Android looking icon, pretty boring. So what we usually want to do is we want to make a custom icon that's, I don't know, some kind of cool shape or our company's logo, whatever. The one that I'm going to use just for demonstration is this right here. I just made it in Photoshop, like 2 seconds. And whenever you're making it, make sure that it's 512 by 512. That's the size. And also make sure that it's a ping. Don't use JPEG or GIF or anything like that. 512 by 512 ping. And you can make it transparent. It doesn't have to be a big solid square like this. You can have some transparency. And if you look at like the phone icon, these default icons, you can see that they have some see-through aspect to them. So yeah, once you have that, hop over to this URL right here. So this is the Android Asset Studio, and if you don't feel like typing this in, then you can just go to Google and type in Android Asset Studio. It's going to be the first one that pops up, and this is a really cool tool that anytime you want to make like any graphics or icons that your app needs, I recommend this. It probably has anything you're looking for. What we want to do is we want to create a launcher icon. So click launcher icons and look at this. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to upload our image. Now if you're like, alright, why can't I just take this image that I created in Photoshop or whatever and just add it to my Android project? Well, I'm sure a lot of you guys could probably already guess this, but since Android devices are different resolutions, they need different size icons to display. So instead of just creating all of these sizes manually, which would take forever, what we can do here is just select image and double click our 512 by 512 ping, and as you can see, it's going to create all of the different sizes that we need, and we don't have to worry about what sizes they are. We don't have to worry about naming them. This tool does it all. It's awesome. Now of course we do have a couple options here. Usually you don't really want to change anything, but if you ever want to say, okay, instead of these rounded corners, you can select none, and that gives you a nice square. You can also choose like bevel, circle, gives you a perfect circle icon, whatever. Again, these are pretty much just our all personal preference, so I don't really need to talk about it in this tutorial. But one thing I am going to recommend is after you select whatever your default shape you want to choose generate web icon too. So this is going to give you a higher resolution optional icon, and later on when I talk to you guys about distributing apps, I'm going to show you guys why you actually want this, but for right now just make sure it generates that as well. And now you can click download zip. So what this is going to do is it's going to pretty much create all of these icons at different sizes, and it's going to give you them in a nice little downloadable folder. So double click that and check this out. So this earlier one is when I was recording 5 minutes ago, and I learned that my microphone was on mute, so I can just go ahead and delete that. But once you have those downloaded, the first thing you want to do is extract them all, since it is in a zip folder now, and now check them out. So again, in all of the subfolders, it gives you a nice little different size. For example, in the HDPI, this size is 72 by 72. In the X HDPI, this size is 96 by 96, whatever. But now we need to figure out, okay, these are just in my downloads folder. I want to actually add them to the project. So let me do this. Let me move this on the right hand side, and just through Windows Explorer, navigate to your Android project. So mine is in test, and again that's just this one that I'm testing out right now. And if you go to app, source, main, res, you can see, okay, these are where I need to stick all my different size graphics. Now another thing I want to point out is that make sure that you don't name these anything different. You see how they're named IC Launcher by default? That's the default name that Android says, okay, whenever I'm looking for a launcher icon, I'm looking for the graphic name IC launcher. So again, if you name them something different, then you're going to have to change some settings in the manifest. So just keep the same name. I just want to, warn you guys. So from here, all you have to do is say go HDPI, drag that, and override it. Go back, now another thing I want to point out, people say that you can actually just copy all of these and paste them directly into your app directory. However, when I do that, it doesn't work out. It gives me some errors, so that's why I like to manually just drag all of these in. Move and replace, and do this for every single one. Now, another thing I want to point out a bunch of stuff here. You see that by default, your Android project, it only has H, M, X, and double X. However, whenever you downloaded it, it gave you this triple X folder as well. So what you can do is you can actually take this entire thing and just drag it over here, and then it'll give you another size icon that you didn't have before. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We can now close out of here, and if we rebuild this project, let me pause it and rebuild it. So check it out. We now have a custom launcher icon. Pretty sweet. So yeah, that's how you create it. That's how you use Android Asset Studios. And now you're going to have a custom launcher icon on every single device. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And well, I'll see you later.